In a world where culinary creativity and the art of storytelling collide, we bring you a captivating conversation that transcends the realms of flavors and emotions. Today we will be graced by multi-talented actor Hunter Clowdus. Hunter has captivated audiences with his ability to inspire others and embody characters we grow to love. Beyond the spotlight, Hunter's dedication to fitness has become a driving rhythm of his life. See if the texture is familiar. Now you might get a little messy here.
I'm trusting you.
Join us as our search for maximum flavor continues. Hunter, welcome to the Searching for Maximum Flavor podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
I am beyond excited.
So tell us how you got started in acting. How did that start for you? How did that unfold into all these other avenues as well?
Yeah, so I grew up playing sports, every sport you can imagine, baseball, football, tennis, track. And I was at the University of Alabama and I was in great shape. And I saw a casting for this popular show at the time, but you had to be a college level lacrosse player. So I submitted this photo of myself and said, I've literally won like state championship at lacrosse.
So I'm sorry. So at this point, you had not taken any acting classes or anything to prepare you for this moment?
I had never even considered acting at all.
Oh, okay. Please continue. Wow.
Yeah. So they call me and they say, hey, we would love to book you. Are you available? I said, absolutely. And they said, so you're great at lacrosse. I said, I'm the best. So I hang up the phone and I immediately call my friend and I say, hey, Josh, I've never played lacrosse a day in my life.
No.
But you are a college lacrosse player and I need you to teach me this weekend how to play because I got to go to Atlanta this coming week to shoot this show. So literally he taught me in one weekend how to play lacrosse. I was not good, but that role, which started off as a background role, ended up being a featured background role, which ultimately led to me getting my first lines on that TV show. And that's how I got into acting.
Oh my gosh. So, and then no looking back after that.
No looking back. I knew I had a passion for it. I knew I was decent at it at the time. I had no idea, however, how much work it would take to actually be a professional working actor. It was and it continues to be one of the most difficult arts that I've ever studied.
Yeah.
People think that it's just memorizing lines and then doing it in front of camera, but there really is depth to it.
Any parallels, any similarities to sports and acting?
Oh, absolutely. I always say one thing is everything, and I think we'll see that even today.
One thing is everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you've never really heard that before?
No, one thing is everything.
Yeah.
I always think how you do anything is how you do everything.
Very similar.
Okay.
It's literally in the same family of that.
Yeah.
So I try and draw parallels from acting to sports to cooking because I don't have time necessarily to invest a decade into a specific art or craft. I need to just level up holistically as a person. Okay. So I really focus more on my human growth opposed to my professional specific growth, because I know if I increase my capacity as a human, I can take that into any avenue or venture and I've grown. So if I just focus on one specific art like acting, but as a human, I didn't level up and grow too much, then when it comes to sports, I'm like this level of human into that. Right. So I always just work on expanding my capacity and trust that no matter what I take it into, that it will work and I'll be able to make it fit.
Well, that is such an amazing theory and like really words to live by. I mean, I love that. So I want to know who created this human. Tell me a little bit about your family, where you come from, how did this all really just start? Sports, for example, did anybody inspire you to get into sports?
Originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Love Tennessee.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I grew up on a farm with my mom, my dad. I have an older sister, which is an absolute cheat code to life because she made all the mistakes and I learned from her, which was fantastic. Very fortunate. My mom and dad have been together for 37 years.
Oh my
which
gosh.
Is so
a real life love story.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Yes. So I've really had such a great example of love, which has, again, allowed me to see just everything in life with that lens of love, right? So I've been able to craft a perspective that allowed me to then know that I need to work hard, that I need to develop a skill set, that I need to increase my capacity, that I need to care about the depth of the value that I bring to life because it matters.
It does matter.
Something else that I always say is, if my name's attached, so is everything I got.
Absolutely true.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So whether it's a handshake, whether it's a show, I just want to really show up and be present and bring everything I got. And again, I learned that from my mom and dad. My dad owns a construction company.
Okay.
My mom works in the hospital. So they've always just really worked super hard. My sister graduated from Belmont in Nashville. She double majored. She was valedictorian, which is just remarkable. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
But all of these professions, if you will, stem from hard work, being a good human, loving others. So I had these examples and these mentors, if you will, even though they were family, they were still in front of me leading the way. And I think ultimately that gave me the confidence to swing for the fences, to start this impossible career that is, I don't even want to say acting. I want to say the impossible career of starting something new when statistics aren't in your favor.
Correct.
And that's a really cool definition that we just made. But I think it's applicable to every single human being walking, because there isn't a certain age where, oh, I'm past that, I can't do it anymore. At any point, we can do anything we want, but we have to, again, have that confidence in ourselves that we either know where our feet are headed or that we can find our feet, which, as I take it back, that's why it's so important that we grow as human beings and not just in specified, titles.
There's a gentleman that's inspired me greatly, and he's always like, oh, okay, like most of America says a fallback plan, something to fall back on, and he's like, no, fall forward, because I want to see where I'm falling. I want to be moving forward. I want to grow into something better, not fall back.
I love that.
You're giving me that energy.
Yeah. I love that so much. So modeling is actually how I got started before I even got into acting. Again, it stemmed from me playing sports all the time and being in good shape. But through all that, I really learned the value of nutrition.
Yes.
So my cooking, I would title it as cooking. I was never a chef, but I learned the basics. And I think sometimes every good decision in life starts with some basics. Every good dish has some basics,
fundamentals
to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, my list of things that I can curate and concoct in the kitchen are...
Give me a dish.
Oh, no, a dish.
Give me a
I'm
dish.
over here thinking scrambled eggs, okay? Like, I don't know about a dish. No, I mean, I can scramble some eggs. I can put some bread in a toaster. Eggs? Oh, my goodness. So egg whites.
Okay.
Were a mainstay when I was leaning down for a specific photo shoot or something.
Okay.
And I actually found that I really enjoyed putting like soy sauce.
Really?
In the egg whites.
Okay.
And then maybe I would sprinkle some cheese on top, but anything to give it a bit of flavor.
Yeah.
And me being somewhat lazy when it comes to my cooking, I haven't been one to always season my dishes.
Okay.
But wow, the power of seasoning is so
Takes
incredible.
it to another level.
Thank you.
Any dishes that stand out to you, like from your childhood? I want to go childhood first. Any memories? Anything what did you grow up eating?
Absolutely. Two come to mind. And my mom she always cooked, which is amazing in itself. But
I pictured that. Yeah. Without knowing that, I already knew your mom was cooking in the house.
It was fantastic. I mean, dinner every night, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It was just what it was. And again, sometimes the conversations wouldn't be super deep. Sometimes we would just have the TV on, but there's such bonding around setting aside time to do that with one another. So I'm forever grateful. But two dishes that really come to mind were a chicken casserole.
Okay.
That was pretty tasty, and she would always have like mashed potatoes on the side with like these snow peas. And we would put the snow peas in the mashed potatoes, like in the middle, and we would call it a bird's nest. So it's little things. Yes, it's little things like that really, 20 years later, I'm sharing with you.
Yeah, and they create this lasting, impactful moment that you're going to share for the rest of your life. Okay, so now we're not we're not a child. Now we're a teenager.
Okay.
What are we eating?
Okay, this is great. So this is when I actually took some ownership for myself. So we're going to go to my late teens, so like 18, 19.
Okay.
This is when I was taking my modeling and dieting very serious. So we're going to get super bland, and we're going to go to some boiled chicken.
Okay.
So chicken breast literally in a pot of boiling water.
Yeah.
No seasoning. And then we'll pair that with some microwavable broccoli.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, so that was a point in my life where I viewed food differently. I viewed it solely as fuel to ... So so fuel to work out. Fuel to be lean, fuel to, and now that I'm a bit older, I've transitioned my dishes, if you will, to I want more camaraderie, I want more family, but still those dishes that I learned to make mean a lot to me because that was back when it really was just me and the four walls around me. So, which is a powerful time. So if you are in that season of life, it's beautiful. All seasons are beautiful.
Yeah.
And you just have to learn to appreciate them and also know that no season lasts forever.
That's
so
true.
if you're in a bad one, keep going. And if you're in a good one, soak it all up and really appreciate it.
Speaking of soaking up, tell me some of the places that you've been that are magical that you really want to like soak up and take with you forever, you know, and maybe some of the dishes that you've tried in these magical places.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a great question. Yeah. So 3 things came to mind. One, we'll go back to Tennessee, and it sounds crazy, but after I would go to the dentist, my mom would take me to a milkshake shop, and I would get a vanilla milkshake with a banana in it.
Okay.
And again, very simple dish, lifelong memories. So if perhaps you are getting into cooking, it doesn't have to be some crazy complex thing to be a core memory for someone.
Yeah.
One time I was down in Louisiana, and it was the first time I ever had like shrimp gumbo and jambalaya and all these crazy dishes.
Big flavors.
Yes. Yes. And I remember my taste buds were just like, okay, this is new and I like it.
Yeah.
So
not boiled chicken.
No. I was like, whoa, this is like literally every bite so filled with flavor. And then of course, when I think of some of my most profound, like iconic, like time freezes meals, I would have to think back when I was over in Europe.
Okay.
And I think when you think of those, there's so much more than just food on the plate. It is the ambiance. It is the environment. It is the clothes that you're wearing. It's the table. It's the waiter. Now we're getting into really
it's a whole experience.
An experience more than just a meal.
Yeah.
So anytime I go over to Europe, I really try and put myself in an environment that is very culturally appropriate.
What's your favorite place in Europe? Or
Italy.
country? Italy? Me too.
Yes,
yeah.
It's so good. I was over there and I went to this restaurant. It was just off the Amalfi Coast. Ooh. So already, right, my headspace is like, this is a dream. This isn't real.
Yeah.
And we had this beautiful Airbnb that over like it was a movie.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of this Airbnb, there was this restaurant, and the owner of the Airbnb was also like a chef at the restaurant.
Wow.
Yes. So we had like special treatment already. And he brought out this lemon enriched pasta.
Oh.
And I'd never had this like with lemon, like I don't even want to say noodles, but like lemon pasta.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I will never forget it because it was a pairing that I wouldn't have thought.
Right.
When did you go from, if I may ask you a question, when did you go from best flavor, good flavor, fine flavor to maximum flavor? Like what was really that in you? I see you kind of light up. What was that in you that was like, okay, this is great, but I want more. I want to provide more. I want to give more. I want to love more. I want to teach more. I want to share more. What for you was like, okay, I want to go maximum with this?
I've always been like obsessed with like the flavor of food, understanding the pairings and things like that. And I think there's this like bliss point. There's something that creates a core memory. Sometimes it's just something very, very simple, but it's that otherness. It's like when you have like, let's say really great fried chicken and it's like crispy on the outside, but it's been brined the proper time. So it's juicy, it's tender, it's the right amount of spice, but you can kind of pick up that there's thyme and there's garlic and there's black pepper. And all of a sudden you have good fried chicken, right? But then you have this perfect fried chicken that you're going to talk about for the rest of your life. And that's what maximum flavor is. And then I've been after that in like so many dishes all over the world. And I'm just like, okay, is that good? And then I want to replicate it and share it with others.
Yeah.
That's been my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so detail oriented. And I think depth comes from the details.
Yeah.
So your ability and willingness and desire to search for new depths clearly has not only pushed you into being a remarkable chef, but an amazing human being. And
thank you.
I'm honored to be here today.
No, I'm the one that's honored. And actually, when we're talking about different avenues and sharing, I want to know about Clowdus, the fitness program. Like, tell me, how did you launch that? When did you launch that?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Again, I think it stemmed from me knowing that in order to be the best friend that I could be for you, I needed to be in shape.
Okay.
I needed to take care of my health. And it was selfish for me not to, because then it might perhaps shorten how long I could be a good friend to you. Or perhaps I wouldn't be able to be the best friend, the maximum friend for you.
Yeah.
Because I would have other issues, or I wouldn't just have the capacity to be able to keep up. So training has always been very, very important. And I liken it to not just thinking that it's a physical thing.
Yeah.
I think my training specifically really marries the physical and the mental.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that our mind is worked out.
Speaking of first times, journeys, have you ever been blindfolded?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, during dinner or like an eating experience.
That has to stay.
I realized, I was like, wait, I just asked him.
Yes, one time I was abducted. No. Yes, funny enough, one time early on my career, when I would essentially take any job that was out there was a job for a model to be on a show and be blindfolded for this game show.
Okay.
And I had never previously had that sense taken away from me. And it was such a weird experience, but I got it because everything was heightened. But I mean, I could hear, because it was in front of a live audience, I could hear someone, deep in the back of the stage, because it again, everything was heightened. But never for this segment that we might have coming up. So I'm really looking forward to this.
So we're going to blindfold you for the second time.
Yes.
And this time we're going to feed you.
Oh,
okay.
That's
you
fantastic.
Ready?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So step number 1 for our little dark dining adventure is you're going to pick your mask.
I pick.
Yeah. Pick your personality.
Oh, wow. This guy looks tired.
Okay.
Which I'm not. These are great.
Yeah.
I've never seen such an eclectic amount of blindfolds.
We want to make it fun. Okay.
And these are all from your personal collection.
Yes, absolutely. No. I just go around with a collection of masks. Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like Princess too. What are we thinking? I kind of like this one.
Yeah, that goes.
Yeah.
That looks great. Okay.
Fantastic. And I just put it on, yeah?
Yep. That's step number 1.
Step number 1 is scary.
It's scary. You're going to blindfold yourself.
Okay.
Because this is going to make all of your other senses heightened. So for me, when I wanted to launch dark dining 15 years ago, I wanted to give people another experience that wasn't just eating the food. I wanted them to understand texture. I wanted them to understand the sound of crunch, for example, the aromas, and then lastly, taste. But we don't experience that necessarily unless we're blindfolded, because we're looking at it. So when we look at food, we automatically know what it's going to taste like, So this is like experiencing food that maybe you've had all your life for the first time.
Yeah. Okay. I'm super excited. Okay. I'm throwing this on.
All right.
And I'm not going to cheat. I
no
promise.
cheating. Are you sure? Okay. So how this is going to work is I'm going to guide you through this entire journey.
I already smell something.
You already smell something?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to place your hands on the table right before you.
Okay.
And gently you're going to walk your fingers until you hit a plate.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So get your other hand close to that.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so there's something in the center of that plate.
Okay.
So again, gently go towards the center until you start touching something.
This
Now
is
walk
so
your-
fun. I wish everybody needs to try this. Seriously.
I think so.
This
yeah.
is great. So it's okay if I'm not going to get messy?
Well, you might get messy. That's
Okay.
part of the whole thing. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. So now you're going to grab it with the other hand as well.
Okay.
Familiarize yourself with it. Okay. And now you're going to bring it to your nose
Okay.
gently.
Okay.
And you're going to smell it. See if anything is familiar. What does it feel like as you're touching it?
It feels like a sandwich of some sort.
Okay.
Wait a second. I've smelled this before.
You've smelled this before? What does it remind you of?
There's no way that's what this is, but I'm just going to go for it. It smells like a childhood meal, if you will, that I had so much growing up,
Really?
which was a peanut butter and honey sandwich. And my mom would make me this snack before we would go pick my sister up at school. And
Right, bite it. Let's see if you're right.
it's just crazy how smell brings back such fond memories.
Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
What are you tasting? What's the first thing that you tasted?
The first thing that I felt was the crunch.
Yeah. Okay, so texture first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the sweetness of peanut butter
Mm-hmm. So peanut butter second.
with maybe, and that's crazy, but maybe a hint of honey.
Yes. There is honey in there. Okay. Now you can take the mask off for this.
Are my hands clean enough?
Whoa, hold on. I'm going to give you a napkin.
Okay, thank you,
There
thank
you
you,
go.
thank you.
Okay. You could put the sandwich down and
Okay,
wait.
I definitely want more bites of that. Though.
Yeah, you could do
Am I
that with your
close?
mask off after.
Okay, yeah,
We want to
fantastic.
see if you're right.
Yeah,
It's a peanut butter and honey sandwich.
I was right.
Yes, you were right.
Oh my
But
gosh.
you see how the sense of smell, right away you were like, oh,
Yeah.
this smells like fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And then it brings you back. And that's when food becomes transcendental and it takes us somewhere else. You know, it could just be a bite of food, but all of a sudden you just went way back just by smelling something. And that's what I wanted to deliver to my guests. You know, that's what dark dining is. That's what searching for maximum flavor is.
So it really becomes the story around it,
Yeah.
not it necessarily.
Right.
And it, be it the food, is what you've chosen as a vessel to further deepen your connections and relationships with other people, but also with yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got it.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's amazing. Can I have
Hey,
another bite?
Please do.
Okay, fantastic.
So how does this measure up? Now, like, you know, not mask related or anything.
Yeah.
Flavor wise, we did a couple of different things to this that
Yeah,
might
tell
not
me-
be typical.
Tell me what you did and I'll have another bite.
Okay.
Okay.
So we buttered up the brioche toast, so not just white sandwich bread, and we roasted that for a little bit just to get that type of texture, so it wouldn't be soggy or stick to the roof of your mouth necessarily. It's organic peanut butter, you know, and then wildflower honey with a touch of sea salt to elevate the rest of the ingredients. So you'd pick up the sweetness right away, maybe the butteriness, and then all of a sudden that peanut butter becomes just a tad more aromatic.
Yes, I would have never thought to add butter to this.
Right.
But
We wanted that texture, that crunch.
yes. So that's how you achieved it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, they always stuck to the roof of my mouth. So this one does not, which is a lovely surprise.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you ready for round two?
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Blindfold on.
Okay.
So the room is welled up with an aroma. Do you pick up anything?
I just know that I heard it sizzling
Yes.
and it smells really good and I want to eat it. That's the extent of like where I'm at right now.
So isn't that incredible that the sense of smell is ultimately making you salivate, but you haven't seen anything
Yes.
yet?
How'd
yeah.
you know? You just see me like gulp. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna start now with our second dish.
Okay.
Again, we're thinking journey. We are thinking experience. Okay, you're gonna walk your
I
fingers
smell a lot
until
now.
you touch the vessel.
Okay.
All right.
We're
so
here.
this one, you're not going to touch the center of the plate like the previous dish.
Okay.
You're just going to bring this plate close to your nose to kind of see. Let's see if you can pick up any familiar aromas right from the dish.
Maybe my nose is broken.
No, it's not. It's not.
It smells like I want to eat it. It feels warm. I heard it sizzling. I don't know. And I'm scared to make a guess because I feel like it would be totally off.
All right. So you're going to place that dish kind of right back where you found it, kind of.
Yes, try to.
Perfect. Okay. So now are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. So with your right hand, you're going to gently kind of rub your fingers over the top. See if the texture is familiar. Now you might get a little messy here.
This is so scary to do. I'm trusting you.
Please do. There you go. Texture. Is the texture familiar?
It feels like noodles.
Okay. All right. So now you're going to take your right hand again.
Okay.
And you're going to touch the table. Just place it flat.
Do I need it? Oh, I have a napkin. Fantastic. Okay. Great.
You just grab the napkin. I always kind of call out when the guests are able to know, because of muscle memory, where things are.
Yes.
They're not going around in the air flapping their hands. They know where they left things. They kind of generally know how far the distance from the plate to their nose and things like that. Nobody's making mistakes.
Yes.
All right. So you're going to take your right hand.
Okay.
And you're going to kind of walk your fingers about 2 inches forward until you touch a fork.
Okay. I got it.
Not that one.
Okay. To the left?
Yeah.
Okay,
there you
fantastic.
go. Grab that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And now I'm going to place a spoon in your other hand.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Okay.
A spoon and a fork.
Yes.
Okay,
so
fantastic.
I want you to pick up, you said there were noodles.
Yes.
Okay. And kind of swirl it into the spoon. Okay. You're going to take your first bite. This is
hard to do, just so you know. This is challenging.
You're an athlete. This is actually really challenging.
This is. Okay.
Most times I just let the guests grab something and put it in their mouth. But since you have a lot more talent here.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
You're an athlete, okay?
Question. So I have never used a spoon and a fork at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, of course I've used a knife and fork to cut steak and things like that. Is this, dare I say, common practice? Or
yes.
when? Okay.
So when you're swirling the said noodles.
Yes.
When you swirl it into the spoon, it makes sure that you swirl it evenly and you get a mouthful. And it's the noodles not all over the place.
Well, when I think back in my early years of life, when I had a dish that required some spinning of the fork, I would often put one noodle in my mouth because the rest would fall off. So now I know all I needed was a spoon.
Yes.
Okay.
What are you tasting? What are you feeling? What are you smelling?
Some sort of pasta.
Okay.
But I feel like the sauce, it feels very light.
Light.
So if I had to guess its color, I would guess that it wasn't of the marinara family, but maybe a white kind of sauce. I almost felt a tiny bit of granular, so maybe that was a Parmesan cheese on top or something of that nature. Delicious. I'm not sure where a sizzle. I know I heard a sizzle. I don't know
hear a sizzle.
Where that would have came from, but delicious nonetheless. And I learned about a fork and how to properly get noodles with a spoon.
Okay, so now you're going to drop the fork and spoon right onto your plate.
Okay.
And you're going to remove, you can use a napkin if you'd like, if you need to. And then you're going to remove your mask.
Okay, my favorite part where I can actually see what's going on.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't too far off.
You were. No, you were pretty right. So, yes, we have linguine here. What the sizzling that you heard was actually garlic and shallots being sizzled in a little bit of olive oil. We hit it up with a little bit of lemon juice, lemon zest. There is some heavy cream in there, just a tad, just to make it a little creamy, round it out.
Yes.
And Parmesan cheese.
Don't mind if I practice my skills.
Now, to throw you off just a little bit,
we
added some truffle. Now, truffle delivers umami And you kept saying it's delicious. It's delicious. Well, that's the 6 flavor profile of why people become addicted to food, but they don't know why. So it's in Parmesan cheese. It's in tomato. It's in chocolate. It's in soy sauce. So when you were talking about your egg whites with soy sauce doesn't really have a flavor profile, but it's so good, right? Yeah. It's umami. So when you add truffle to any dish, and particularly here in the pasta, it elevates it. It's maximum flavor.
Wow. That is amazing. I did not know that there were certain ingredients, if you will, that added that next level.
That's the next level.
Wow.
And truffle oil has that. Yeah. That brings us to our next course.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This just keeps getting better.
Yeah. All right. So your mask is back on, but I got to know, you feeling a little vulnerable? How are you feeling right now?
Very anticipatory.
Okay.
I think that we get so accustomed to using our eyes as a way of feeling safe, if you will.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that, when we turn 25, we really stop doing a lot of firsts, right? So I think like this allows us to experience something brand new all the time.
Yes.
All right, so we're ready for that next course. We're going to do the same thing where you're going to place your hands right before you and you're going to walk your fingers until you touch the vessel.
Okay.
Okay. And then you are going to pick up the vessel and bring it to your nose.
Okay.
Just try and smell it. Anything come up there?
Yes, this is so weird. And I think I'm so off. It smelled like a pastry.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I smell like, I feel weird saying because I feel like I'm wrong.
No.
But I smell a cinnamon.
Okay.
It reminds me of something that I ate when I was younger.
Okay.
Which had like a brown sugar internal with icing.
Okay. Well, all these things are kind of correct. So you're going to take your right hand, place it in front of you again flat until you grab this spoon.
Okay, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. Okay. So now kind of dive in.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Dive in and kind of take that spoonful.
Yeah.
Make sure you go from top to bottom until you kind of touch the bottom of the dish.
Okay.
Feels
like a big bite here.
Yeah, yes.
It feels too big.
Okay. We want to make sure that we get... Oh, no.
It
Okay, once that fell off.
You might have to help me on the scooping. But I will do the eating.
I'm going to set up this perfect...
Oh, you're the best.
Bite.
Yes.
I'm leaving... All right. Yep. You got it.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
I'm going for it.
You're going for it. Yep. Yes, score. Okay. What did you feel first? What did you taste?
So good. I felt cold.
Okay, cold first.
Cold first, almost like an ice cream level temperature.
Yeah.
And then what I thought would potentially be a firmer foundation felt more like spongier, softer.
Softer. Okay.
Not overbearingly sweet. So I'm really curious as to what this is because all of my desserts are just sugar upon sugar, but this actually had texture. This had levels to it. It wasn't overbearing. So I want to know what it is.
Okay. So let's take your mask off.
Okay.
So I learned, I learned that first you have a sweet tooth.
Yes.
Second, that you like Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yes.
So we made a bread pudding with the Krispy Kreme donuts, but to balance out the sweetness, so it just wasn't monotone, we threw in there some wild blueberries for some acid, some contrast. Okay.
Don't mind if I do.
There's a little bit of
going, chef.
There's a little bit of sea salt in there, again, to balance out the sweetness. And you were right when you said cinnamon, and cinnamon elevates vanilla and elevates anything that has to do with blueberries. It shouldn't be like in your face cinnamon, but it just elevates every other ingredient in there. Now you would think, right, that Krispy Kreme donuts may be super sweet or whatnot, but it's a perfect base for a bread pudding.
Unreal.
Thank you.
And again, it goes to show like you are so expansive with the way you construct these dishes. There's so much thought put into it.
Thank you.
You're very bold with your pairings.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've done a million of these and you didn't love the outcome, but then you find something and you're like, oh, this does work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maximum flavor, right?
Maximum flavor.
I love it.
What'd you think of dark dining as a whole? How was this foodie adventure for you?
Oh, it's been amazing because I'm someone who again, just always eats and then goes about the business. And I didn't really, or whatever I have going on that day. So to slow it down just a hair or to be more present, I think you don't even have to slow it down. I know everybody has a busy schedule, but just to be more present and understand that there is a story behind every dish that you eat. There's someone that thought about it. There's someone that farmed it. There's someone that made it happen. It makes you appreciate food so much more. And not only do I feel more grounded after that experience, but I feel more grateful.
Oh, I mean, and that's all I could ever ask for this type of experience. But I got to say, after getting to know you like this, I want to know you more. Can I ask you a few questions?
I would love for you to. May I continue eating?
Please.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay. What celebrity crushes did you have growing up?
Oh my goodness. I don't think I had any in particular, but my sister was very into Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She was, and
who
is,
wasn't?
I mean, so iconic. So I think she had like a DVD of like, maybe it was called Crossroads.
Okay.
I could be way off base here, but I remember seeing that DVD and being like, wow. Britney is so pretty.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll use that as like my childhood crush. But yeah, it stemmed from just my sister being a fan at the time.
Do you prefer savory or sweet?
Oh, sweet. 11 times out of 10, I have an insatiable appetite for anything that has sugar in it.
What's the grossest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, fantastic question. I tried raw oysters for the first time, and they tasted like gooey, gushy, slimy.
Ooh, glad we didn't serve you oysters because
so
you were about to have oysters.
Yeah, so that was a dish growing up that I was like, I will stay away from that.
What is the best fast food restaurant?
Oh, that's such a good question. It's heavily debatable. It really depends on the mood, but something that has always been a mainstay and a go-to for me is good old Taco Bell. They just
my favorite.
They just deliver.
They deliver on every cylinder.
Yeah. They do.
Agreed. I have so many questions about like your order and everything, but that's for another time.
Yes.
What's a random thing that you know a lot about?
I know a decent amount about magic.
Okay. Wow.
I grew
up.
Like
magic tricks?
Yes, like magic tricks. I grew up and there was a magician at the time. His name was David Blaine.
Yeah.
And he could levitate.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I, too, learned to levitate.
For real?
For real. With a twist of magic, but yes. For real.
I really want to ask you to do this right now.
I know. So yeah, I learned how to levitate. I bought all of these DVDs at the time from magicians that would teach me sleight of hand, card tricks. And it was great. It was such a wonderful phase. And I'll share my favorite trick with you. It was a trick where not only could I force which card you would pick, but then that allowed me to do a little back end setup. And I actually threw a deck of cards through a door, and on the opposite side of the door would be the card that you selected. So again, the cool thing about magic is, of course, I don't want to say it's not real, but there are ways to make it even more magical.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that little phase where I was trying to, again, learn magic, but I think it made me ultimately a better storyteller because it taught me the beginning, the middle, and the end.
The arc.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
Oh, wow. Coincidentally, the next question is, Hunter, will you levitate for us?
Fantastic. We'll have to cut the cameras, but yes, I think I can.
When was the last time you laughed so hard you cried?
Oh, wow. I try and do that weekly. I
Okay.
think laughter is so healthy. And I
Yeah.
really get a kick out of life. Something that my dad shared with me when I was young was have a laugh.
Yeah.
So those 3 words have stayed with me throughout my entire life. And it's a reminder to just have a good perspective on life. And I think when we're rooted in gratitude, we can get a kick out of some
Yeah.
things. So laugh till I cry. Goodness, I don't know, but I certainly laugh a lot. So, yeah. Chef, the tables have turned.
Yeah. I see that.
Now I am asking the questions. Now, these are hot takes.
Okay.
So I will read what's on the card, and the first thing that comes to mind, not the second thing,
Okay.
you have to say immediately.
Got
So
it.
we're going to get to know you a little bit better about, everything that makes your life maximum.
Ooh,
All right? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What are your senses telling you? Are you a little nervous?
I'm in an anticipatory state. Just like you.
We're just there together, and I love it. Okay. Hot takes. McDonald's is better than Burger King.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay.
Even though that's not part of this. I had to so I had to get in on the action. I was like, it's a hot take for me. Netflix is better than Hulu.
Yes.
Yeah? Hulu's a sleeper.
Yeah.
Ice cream is overrated.
No.
Agreed. Hot dog is a sandwich.
No.
Why?
Because it's a hot dog. It lives alone in its own space.
Brilliant. That's maximum answer right there. Pineapple is a delicious pizza topping.
It is.
Why is that debatable?
I don't know, but
Me
why?
either.
I think like New Yorkers, like
Yeah.
they were like, absolutely not. We want just our red sauce and nothing else can live on
Okay.
it except whatever we said could.
Right.
But why not?
Yeah. One of my favorite pizzas is basically barbecue chicken
There you go. What?
with just pizza underneath it.
Don't tell me what I can put on my pizza and what I
Yes.
can't. There
Love
you
it.
go.
That's the answer right there. I'd rather live without TV than without music.
Oh, that's so hard.
That is.
Hmm. No, because then I wouldn't be able to see you.
You're the best. See, you're after my heart. It's more rude to show up late than to show up underdressed.
Oh, these are hard. These are really
I know, I'm
hard.
glad I didn't get these.
Yes, because I like to be mindful and respectful of people's time. And time is our greatest gift.
Yes. Okay, you killed that. I literally second that. I would rather live on a private island than a penthouse in my dream city.
A private island? No.
And why?
Is the Y in there or you threw the Y?
Maybe I threw that in there.
I don't know. I think private island. I think I don't have really great survival skills.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't
Me
know.
neither.
Well, you said private, not deserted.
Oh, yeah.
So it depends. In the lap of luxury, maybe. Yes.
Yes.
I take that back.
Oh, that's a beautiful lap, isn't it? Luxury. We love that. I think I'll go with that as well. Growing up on a farm, it was really cool because I had so much space to spend time with myself.
Yeah.
But then I could go into the city and spend time with others, what have you. So let's say we'll do the private island as long as we have a nice boat or a yacht
get
to
somewhere
get
else.
us inland.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay,
Agreed.
cool. Waffles are better than pancakes.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
They
Agreed.
have pockets for the toppings or the syrup.
Yes. Absolutely. And they potentially have crunch
Yes.
if they're done well.
Yes.
So, yeah.
A crunchy pancake, it just,
No.
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 Yeah, waffles superior. Crunch, speaking of crunch, crunchy peanut butter is better than smooth.
No.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Literally, it's not. And it
It's
doesn't,
not. I don't
No.
know. I want something creamy and luscious and indulgent. If I want it crunch, I put potato chips in it.
You're the best. Okay, and that's it. Hey, you got an
Hey.
A+ on that. You
So did you,
smoked
and
those.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Those were tough.
fantastic.
They were
Yeah,
tough.
you handled them well. And
Yeah.
and you had reason behind everything, which may or may not be on the card. The world may never know.
So, I want to know where can we follow you? Where can we know what's up with you? Your next projects? Where do we go?
Yes.
I want to keep up with you.
Yes. At Hunter Clowdus
Okay.
is my handle on all socials. I'm quite active.
Yeah.
So if you comment or DM, there's a chance that I will hit you back just because I've really tried to build a following of friends more than fans.
Okay.
And I think you do that by being accessible, by being down to earth.
Genuine. You're so genuine.
And yeah, by I appreciate that.
Thank you.
By just being a human being.
Yeah.
So no matter what endeavor I'm off on, I really, at the end of the day, I say, you know what? I'm a human being and we're all in this together. So yeah, at Hunter Clowdus, you can always find me.
Hunter, I got to say thank you so much for being on the show with me. Thank you for hanging out with me, giving me your time. I really learned so much from you, and you've enriched my life by just sharing this time with me. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this kind of transcended, I think, food, which is what you've done. You've really taken things to the next level. You've maximized things. And it's just been such a treat to share this space with you. Your energy is electric. So keep doing your thing, keep touching and changing lives.
Likewise.